Whoa. What's up, everybody? Episode, oh crap, where did it go in the corner? 176 of the Sound 228 podcast. I had to read it to know it. My name is Jared Seymour.
I'm Lisa Wills.
And I'm Matt James.
That's right. And tonight, man, it feels like it's been ages since we've talked. Lisa, you said, how long has it been?
It's been like a month since we've been live.
I don't like it.
Yeah.
It feels weird, right? I feel like I haven't done this in a really long time. I feel awkward.
Feel out of place.
It's like it's the first time again.
Yeah.
So
as seen as we haven't seen anyone and you know, we haven't, I think everyone's been very busy these past few weeks doing other things. Like, what's everyone been listening to?
Oh, let's get Matt is not, he's about no bullshit this evening. He wants to know right out of the gate, what have we been listening to? I think Lisa should lead it off. I think she always does the best. So let's get it.
Well, I've gone to a lot of shows in the past couple of weeks. My friend
No, I don't believe it. I don't believe it.
My friend Vix was here from London. And so we drove to Albany to go see Kingdom Collapse with Nothing More. Then we went to New York City and we saw While She Sleeps with Barry Tomorrow and Vended.
How was that?
And then we saw 3 shows. Oh, we also went to go see Imminence with Landmarks. And gosh, who was the opening band? Oh, Jaluka from Japan, who were wildly entertaining. It was all hard vocals, so it really wasn't for me. But the performance, the costumes, everything was outstanding.
Yeah, you sent me a video and I was like, holy fuck, that's a production.
Yeah, really, really good. And so we went and we saw other shows. And then I went this past Friday night, I went to Baltimore and I saw Kingdom Collapse with Dead Eyes and Rise Among Rivals. And I was so happy. So I've spent a lot of time with Kingdom Collapse this past couple of weeks, but it was great.
Good.
So I've been to a lot of shows, man. I've been listening mostly to Dead Eyes. I'm not going to lie. Their new stuff is absolutely sick. In case you haven't heard, they got signed to Thriller Records. So the boat has left the port, man. The boat has left the port. And I could not be more happy and proud of them for finally getting off the pier there.
Lisa, how was Rise Amongst Rivals in their hometown, if I remember?
Oh, they were amazing. Right? Rise Among Rivals, I've never seen them put on a bad show. They have outstanding music. They are local to Baltimore. If you're not familiar, go get familiar. They're outstanding. They're a perfect complement for Kingdom Collapse and Dead Eyes.
We had them down here. I don't remember if it was a Dirty 30. I don't remember what show specifically it was, but they were great. And I was very much looking forward.
Oh, we did have them, didn't we?
Yeah, because it was them. And I remember, obviously seeing them, talking to them. But who else helped me out here?
Wasn't it 7 Day Slumber and Carbon Stone?
Yeah, but who else is from Baltimore that it was the first time they'd played together in Ocean Springs, Mississippi, and they were both from Baltimore?
Probably Carbon Stone. Carbon Stone's also from Baltimore.
Yes, it was the first time they played a show together, but they were in Ocean Springs, Mississippi, and they're both from Baltimore. And they were like, dudes, this is weird. Like, but it's cool, but it's weird.
Yeah. And speaking of them, actually, Anoxia, Corey James, his wife, has a band, Anoxia, Crystal James.
Yes.
And they're actually going to be doing a show not far from me in a couple weeks. She's going to be covering Evanescence. So I'm going to be going to that.
Yeah, Brandy got it with the Carbon Stone.
Should be a good show. Sorry, I was our guest is having trouble getting in, so I was just trying to sort that out.
No worries.
People might realize that we're down a man. Kevin he got invited to South America with Motley Crue. So he's down there right now touring with them, and he wasn't able to make it on the stream tonight.
Right.
So don't feel bad for him. Yeah, don't feel bad for him.
He's a lifetime thing, though.
Yeah, right.
Kevin, when Vince Neil called him, Kevin, he couldn't turn down the invitation.
Well,
so he was like, I'll be your boat, bitch.
Yeah, well, I heard he was actually going to be the one in charge of Tommy Lee's Sticks. That's what I heard. Right. So I don't know.
Oh,
yeah.
Which ones?
His wood. I don't know. That's what I heard. He was in charge of his wood. I don't know what that means.
messaged him saying, dude, what the fuck? You know, we've got an important podcast tonight. And he was just like, yeah, you guys ain't important anymore. They're big time now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Michael in the chat, no, we are not being serious. We wish we were, though. Honestly,
Yeah.
God.
Kevin's at work.
So what are you doing to Jared?
But we are full of shit, though. So there is that.
Yeah.
Chat, if the chat, keep it going, man. Let us know where's everybody tuning in from tonight. That's always cool to see. What's the reach here on the old Sound 228 that started on the Gulf Coast here? Where's everybody at? Matt, I am listening to unapologetically. I've been hooked on it. Spirit Box. I can't get away from it. I can't. I don't know. It's. I think I'm falling in love. Possibly. I don't tell my wife. With Courtney, but you know.
let's not tell the wife.
Anyway, it's that new record is the shit.
Yeah, it's
Very
great.
The shit.
It's great.
So anyway.
Now, Jared, you just said people drop where they're tuning in from in the comments, right? I'm going to do something now, and Kevin's going to hate me for this. If you can beat me on distance from where you're tuning in from, I'll get a Sound 228 t-shirt sent to you.
There you go. We can make
if
that
you
happen.
Are more than 4,000 miles away from Biloxi, chime on in.
They got to pay shipping. They got to pay the shipping.
Right, yeah, we will. If we can verify it, I'll get you a Sound 228 shirt of your choosing to you.
All right, Roughport. I like that, Nathaniel. That's pretty cool. We got some Alabama people. We got Pennsylvania. Yeah. Jason. Okay, cool, man. Awesome. India. All right.
He's back though now, so he's not in India anymore.
Okay. He still had to pay the shipping. I still feel like it's worth giving him a shirt and then having him take a picture of the Sound 228 shirt in India somewhere.
That'd be really cool. I actually, for my day job, I actually work with a whole team of people in India.
Really?
That'd be sort of cool. I should just ship one of them a shirt and be like, hey, could you take a picture for me?
Hell yeah. Absolutely. Right. Absolutely.
Get the brand out around the world.
Matt, who are you listening to?
I went to a show on Sunday.
I hate
and it was 3 incredible American bands on the fucking lineup. It was a sick fucking lineup. I initially went up there to hang out with the boys in the Virtue because they're good friends of the station. I thought, let's go and support them. They opened the show, fucking slayed it as they always do. So I was listening to them quite a lot, but like I was sort of into Catch Your Breath. My friend Grumpy Core, Mr. Anthony Holloway, sent them to me a couple of years ago, and I'd been listening to them in and out, when they're dropping singles and stuff. I've been hooked dead into them since seeing them live.
Josh's vocals are crazy good.
Insane.
Look at that. We're gonna get one from Australia. That's what I'm talking about. Thank you, sir.
We love that.
That's killer. Y'all make me jealous with the amount of shows that y'all go to. I'm saving up all my energy to do 4 days of Sonic Temple coming up in May.
Yeah.
The 8, 9, 10, I think, something like that.
Yeah, I'm excited. Lisa just said she went and saw Barry Tomorrow when Vix was over. And I am, because I've only seen Barry Tomorrow in big places. Like I saw it at Slam Dunk Festival, Ali Pally as well. Can't remember where else I've seen them.
See that, Matt?
But, yes, I do, Anne, and I'm trying to work out if I can go or not, but I'm trying to actually sort out a trip for someone who's coming to see me from the US in June. So I'm trying to work out my schedule around that. But yeah, I'm going to see Barry tomorrow in a 400 cap venue, and they are absolutely going to destroy the place. They're going to destroy it.
I'm sure we've said it on the show before, but like 400, 600 capacity venues, maybe 1,000, but like where you're talking though, those are the best. When you see somebody that's there, I mean, obviously when you get to be good and you're at the peak of your career, you're doing stadiums and that's cool and the lights and all that shit, but nothing's better than a 500 capacity club to see your favorite band.
Especially when it's going off as well.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like when they're kicking ass and taking names, that if you could pick any band, and I don't care how big they are, like just say for instance, like Metallica is going to be headlining Sonic Temple, right? I would rather see them in a 500 capacity venue than an arena.
It's like Sunday night, for an example. Because me and Lisa, what we do at shows is we've been chatting each other to show each other like the bands that we're seeing and stuff, right? Just so that I can see some bands over there and bands that she loves that are over here or UK bands they can see. So I was on vid chat to her for a Song of a Virtue, and then Damon asked for the circle pit to be opened up. So I literally said to her, I was like, I've got to go and open the pit.
I got work to do.
I think that's why my back's hurting a little bit.
Yeah,
Probably.
you're not getting any younger.
No.
I've seen Sleep Token in a 1,000 cap room.
Ooh,
Nice.
that's okay. I saw them at Sonic Temple last year, which was big, right? And I think we talked about this before as well. Like, I like some of their stuff. I'm not huge on all of their stuff.
Right.
I don't think any of it's bad. It's just
Right.
doesn't resonate all of it with me. But
Sure.
I will say this: what is their newest song? The newest single that's out right now? They
Caramel.
they got horns at the end of it.
Yeah.
That's classy.
Yeah.
That's classy.
Like, to me,
Oh, are you talking about Emergence? Well, there's Emergence has a sax at the end.
That's what I'm talking about. That
Okay.
song. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yes. That
me,
is classy.
I'd listen to Sleep Token and I was like, they're not really for me, because it was a bit more of the softer. Because when you hear it on Spotify or whatever, they sound really soft. Fuck me, do they hit hard live?
Yeah, no, they're on point. Don't get me wrong, but we had just seen shit like, you know, all the other heavy stuff. I'm sorry, it's just when you go, there's all the heavy stuff there. It's for me a little bit harder to back off a little bit live, right? And
Okay.
I don't know. That's all I'm gonna say.
Well, all right, we got business to
Yeah,
attend
let's
to.
go.
We got a grudge match.
Let's go. What do we got? Who do we got?
We have got Cold Words featuring Aaron Nordstrom going up against the Nocturnal Affair. And just so you guys know, I think Matt's gonna hit the button in a second, but how the poll, the automatic poll where you remained anonymous is no more. You have to go ahead and actually put your vote. No matter where you're at, you're gonna pick either video number 1 or video number 2. You're just gonna put it in the chat, no matter where you're viewing from. You just go ahead and put it in, and put it in once, because I'm gonna count them and I'm not gonna count you twice.
That's right. And just if you could just say, you know, video 1 or video 2, like make it easy for us. Please don't write us a dissertation and then vote again.
Right. I'm not going to play the intro video because I haven't checked it before logging in. I'm not sure if Kevin's changing it, and I don't want to look like I'm not putting the 2 wrong bands up. So we're just going to get straight into it.
Let's go.
Let's go.
This is Cold Words.
I've seen the ending in my dreams. The colors are crystalline, but the setting of this apocalypse is only in my mind. Is there a savior coming? It seems I'm the only one around. I will ascend the mountain with my feet firmly on the ground. This is the last of me. I become a victim
All right.
Oh yeah, I was killer.
All right. All right.
Yeah.
So video
giving
number 1, Cold Words featuring Aaron Nordstrom.
Last of Me. It's a great track. What do you guys think of the track?
I'm just thoroughly impressed.
Yeah,
I
I've
love-
noticed Coleman's doing a lot of collabs lately. And is that a direction they're going to go in? Maybe we need to ask Paul to come on and talk about it.
Maybe.
I
I mean, I don't know. Aaron could sing anything, and
Yeah.
I would probably listen. I think his voice.
Yeah,
Anne was saying he looks like God. Maybe he does. I don't know, but I think
Yeah.
his voice is definitely divine. I love his voice. I love the vocal talents of Aaron Nordstrom for sure. From
He could
Gemini
sing the phone
Syndrome.
book. That's the old saying. He could sing
Right.
the phone book.
Right.
Yeah.
He could.
Definitely. He's
He
got a
could.
great voice.
All right,
Right.
we got some people backstage. Y'all just hang tight. We'll get to we got one more video to get through, homies, and then there we go. All right,
Yeah.
that horns up. There we go, and we'll bring y'all in. Matt, who do we have next? And kudos to you for your button pushing abilities. I'm very impressed. Your producer
I'm
skills.
on fire tonight.
Yeah. This man just woke up 2 hours ago, ladies and gentlemen. Just so you
Someone
know,
called him.
he's fucking doing it.
We have the Nocturnal Affair, which is your video number 2.
Is that you calling my friend? Feeling low and bored with them. Do we make the same mistake? Carry out the same charade until the sun comes up again. Cross me out, write another ending. Tell me off whatever you're pretending. Had enough when all you do is wear me down. Another doubt, another day resenting all the lies, the story that you're feeding. Back it up, I'm tired of the runaround. All of the games that you played and the fighting, all of the wasted apologizing. Every promise made means nothing now. So you can cross me out. Cross me out. Twist the knife and blur the lines between the pages you've designed. You need someone to take the fall. I'm the villain that you call. Whenever you feel lost inside, cross me out, write another ending. Tell me off whatever you're pretending. Had enough when all you do is wear me down. Another doubt, another day resenting all the lies, the story that you're feeding. Back it off, I'm tired of the runaround. All of the games that you played and the fighting, all of the wasted apologizing. Every promise made means nothing now. So you can cross me out. I know you've done it before. So let me stop you now. You think you settled the score? So you can take me out. Just cross me out, 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 out. Cross me out, write another ending. Tell me off whatever you're pretending. Had enough when all you do is wear me down. Another doubt, another day resenting all the lies, the story that you're feeding. Back it off, I'm tired of the runaround. So you can cross me out. Cross me out.
All right.
There we
Very
go.
good.
Another great video.
All I'll say, I'm glad we don't get to vote or have to vote, I should say.
Yeah, I saw Kevin in the comments saying whoever picked this battle is a. What did he put? Whoever picked this
Hopefully,
battle
he said it
did
is
a
a
good
dickhead.
job.
Hope.
Oh.
Dickhead.
Okay.
Kevin, you're supposed to be on tour with Motley Crue. Why are you commenting in the videos, man? What are you
I
doing?
know. He
Pay
should be
attention to what you're
busy.
supposed to. Yeah, you should be busy in South America. Great video, great song.
Yeah.
That dude's voice is very unique. I like
Yeah,
that.
What a powerhouse.
Someone said typo negative vibes. I felt that too. When he first started singing, I was like, ooh, this sounds very typo negative. Like, yeah, I agree with that.
What about did you hear any of the David is it Draymond from Disturb? I hear a little bit of that.
Yeah.
Without the
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, that as well. I mean, plus, you know, like I think all of it. Yeah, I think it was very.
Yeah, I think he's got a set of pipes on him though. That's for
No,
sure.
it's unique though. It's kind of
Yeah.
like he's in a pocket that not, you know what I mean? Like that he stays
Yeah.
in this pocket that I'm not hearing a lot of other people do. I like it.
And I like that's what we like here at the Sound is uniqueness. It's what I look for.
Hey,
Right.
Matt, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that nowadays is more important or more rare than ever before. Like uniqueness, right?
But
It's
for
a dying
you to
art.
stand out, I'll say this to any band that's watching right now. For you to stand out in this industry right now, you have to be unique. Look what happened to Sleep Token. Right? You've got to be unique. You've got to stand out above the crowd because if you're sat there writing something that's like Breaking Benjamin, why are people going to go and listen to something that's like Breaking Benjamin when they can just go and listen to Breaking Benjamin?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, everything is like something. I know what you mean, but you're right. If it's not,
But you've got to have something like it's why I love Raptors so much. Living Without Death's Permissions is about as bipolar of an album as you can get.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're different in every single track they do. That's why I love them so much because they're so unique.
Yep.
Sorry, rant over.
Yep.
Okay.
No, it's good. That's
Well,
what the people came here for, Matt. They want to hear your take. They want to hear that shit. Where are we going next? Lisa,
Okay,
keep us
next.
because you know, me and Matt will just sit here and spin.
We'll sit here and chat shit all night.
Yeah.
There's a reason why there is a woman on this podcast.
Correct. To take charge.
We've got Dark Remedy waiting backstage. They are no stranger to this podcast. Matt, will you do the honors? I think we have Carrie. Do we have Carrie and J-Rod or just Carrie?
We've got both of them, but we can just leave J-Rod backstage if we want.
Well, he said he was in Australia anyway, so I don't want to mess up his juju. You know, where's the koala?
How's it
Gentlemen.
going, fellas?
What's up?
It doesn't look like Australia over there, J-Rod.
It's very Australian here. Our koalas are outside.
He's next door to an Outback, so that counts.
He's just finished fighting with a
That's
kangaroo.
right.
There you go. There you go.
Well, welcome to the show, gentlemen. You guys, for people who might be new to our podcast and might not be familiar with you, go ahead and tell them who you are.
I'm Carrie.
I'm J-Rod, and we're Dark Remedy.
Okay. Where are you guys based out of?
Yeah, give us the backstory.
Tell us.
Tampa. We started up in Virginia, but we're down in Tampa now. J-Rod's the only one hanging on. He's in Alabama.
That's right. He's on the coast.
Okay.
Golf.
And
Close enough.
you guys have some very exciting stuff coming up. You recently released a single called Let Me Go, which has been doing really, really well for you across the streaming platforms.
Yeah.
And you've got some shows coming up as well, right? You guys haven't performed live yet, have you?
No, we haven't. It's kind of wild for me. We started talking about putting this thing together back in 19, released our first single in 20. Didn't really know if we were ever going to be, a band that would play live, or we were just going to do studio stuff. It was just a side project. And here we are. Now we're playing live, which is, it's awesome for me to see finally getting out there and we got a lot of fans throughout the years that we haven't been able to meet in person. We talk to them online and comment back and forth, but it's a different thing to be able to shake their hand, give them a hug, and thank them.
Well, you guys have two amazing opportunities coming up to connect with those fans. Tell us about it.
April 21st,
first
this
off-
coming Monday, we're in J-Rod's hometown, Mobile, Alabama, at Soul Kitchen with Nothing More, and they just announced that Kingdom Collapse will be there too, which is on another level super cool for us. We're very close with those guys. We love them to death. They're like extended family for us. So the fact that our first show, that it wasn't originally supposed to be Kingdom Collapse, but now it is, and we're there, like, it's just I told Jonathan, it's like poetic justice for me. It's so cool. And then May 15th, where are we at, Gerard?
We are at Club LA, one of my favorite places in the world to play. And we are with Miss Dorothy, who is absolutely killing it. She just recently put out a song with Slash. We're supposed to be going to Club LA. I love Destin. It's a cool place to be. The weather, the venue is incredible. The people are incredible. And we're excited. I mean, excited is probably an understatement,
Yeah.
I mean, getting supports, like getting, to open for acts on that level out the gate is pretty remarkable. It's not something that you find very often. You usually have to go ahead and, tour for quite a bit before you are offered opportunities like that. What happened on the back end that you were able to get those opportunities? That's absolutely phenomenal.
I think it's work. I mean, Carrie's been putting in work for a long time. Dark Remedy's put in work for a long time. I've put in work for a long time. You guys have known me for, I guess, 3-4 years now. And it was kind of like the stars just aligned in the right way. We wanted to, when we found out Kingdom was going to be a part of the tour, we were like, man, I'd love to be able to get on one of those shows just to be able, because like you said, we're super close with those guys. And then one happened to be here where I live. And it kind of, the door was just kind of there, and it opened up. And as you can see, it kind of worked out in the favor of Kingdom Collapse because they weren't going to be on the show. And, it worked out in so many good ways.
Yeah.
Right. Well, Mike's dad was supposed to be on those dates.
Right.
Unfortunately, they had some illness in their camp. And
Yeah.
so Nothing More offered Kingdom Collapse to come on for the rest of the dates. So that's going to be really exciting for you guys. I'm super stoked. Matt, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I just wanted to ask Carrie a question, because obviously J-Rod's not the original singer. And Let Me Go was the first single that J-Rod was on. What's it been like working with him and bringing him into the band and building up that rapport with him? Because, like, for me personally, watching Dark Remedy, I saw like some trajectory that you're making with the singles and stuff like that. And then like Let Me Go seemed to like push you that little bit further. Now you're doing these shows with like Darfrey and Nothing More. And it just seems that trajectory like spiked. Do you see that within the band? And what's the rapport been like with J-Rod and the rest of the band members?
Yeah. And I mean, Let Me Go is an incredible song. We're really proud of it. And I'm proud of everything we've done prior to this. I mean, me and Steven, it was just me and him for years up until, this point. And, we put our hearts and souls into it. And, J-Rod has Steven's blessing and vice versa. And Steven still works for the band behind the scenes, which is cool. But like, I don't know, the entire Dark Remedy camp, we have a different outlook on things now. I mean, I would lie if I said there weren't times over the past few years where we've wanted to throw the towel in, that we're like, this is a fucking uphill battle that we're never going to win. We're the underdogs here, just trying to do what we want with our art. You know what I mean? Because that's at the end of the day, we're artists, and there's a commercial aspect to it, but I can say we've always maintained, true to our art. And, there could have been some easier paths. We chose to do it our way. And it's a risk that you never know if it's going to work out. You never know if you release a song, people are going to like it or hate it. So to see, like, I mean, I can tell you the response to Let Me Go is out of this world. I mean, I've had to mute notifications on Instagram because it's like, you know, we're just getting blown up constantly. I think our Instagram has like tripled or something, close to it, since Let Me Go came out. We're sitting at like almost 600,000 streams on Pandora. It's just fucking nuts.
Yeah, yeah. And it's got to be, you know, you said it was you and Stephen for a long time, just, you know, grinding away. And it started as a side project. And like you said before, you know, when you first came on, you didn't know whether you'd be out playing shows. What's that like for you, finally getting out there and playing Dark Remedy material?
Dude, it's like having a child almost, and like it's like watching them graduate. That's kind of what it feels like, you know. I don't know how to describe it, and I'll be honest with you, I'm shitting my fucking pants right now. I mean,
Good.
It's nothing more, you know,
Yeah.
and Nothing More is about as hot as they've ever been. Same with Dorothy, and you know, we know the whole world is watching us, so there's a lot of pressure.
There is, but it's also a great opportunity for you to get in front of some new fans and build that fan base and get some more listeners and those stream numbers up and stuff like that. It's a great opportunity, I think.
I saw Nothing More at the Soul Kitchen the last time they were there with Post Profit and I forget who there was a third.
It was
band.
From Ashes to New and Set It Off.
Yep.
Okay. And fuck, they were good. So you're right. Like the bar is high. You know what I mean? Like there's gonna be people there.
You know?
No, for sure.
You know, I've heard, you know, people sometimes have the idea of, you know, I want to go out there and smoke all the other bands. Fuck that. I want everybody to be killer because the fans benefit. You know, it's just in Kingdom Collapse coming into the fold. Like I know that show on Monday is going to be absolutely nuts. It's going to be something to remember.
Well, why don't we go ahead and play Let Me Go so that way people know what they are getting into. Matt.
Jared, I'll let you do the honors.
You talking about you're still the producer though, Matt,
I'm
right?
Still
You're
doing
ready.
The button pushing, but you've always got a question before we play video.
All right, so I got you. I want to make sure we're on the same page, and I didn't know to click too soon. Anyway, so fellas, we this is kind of a thing we do on the show here for the song. If we play a video for somebody, tell us everything or tell us nothing. It's up to you.
About Let Me Go.
Yeah. About the video.
Man, it's been incredible. From the start to finish, the recording. You know, we work with an amazing producer, Mr. Chris Dawson. We had Pepper Gomez and Wake Up Music behind the song. We shot the video with Mr. Thomas Crane. It's been a whirlwind of awesomeness, if I'm being honest. It's kind of one of those moments where I'm just like, I mean, I don't get humbled. I mean, sometimes I'm cocky, but this was like one of the most humbling things to me. And I love this song. I have this passion for it. Every time I hear it, it just hits me. Every time I still get goosebumps when I listen to the song.
It's a good one for sure.
All right.
Let's kick it off.
And I'll say one thing: if you don't know who Dark Remedy are and you do not like Dark Remedy after Let Me Go, there's something wrong with you. This is Let Me Go on the Sound 228.
But it's way too much. I've given you everything, but it's not enough. I'm trapped up in all of this pain. I'm tired of playing your game. So pick up your phone, cause I know you're alone and I need to say why don't you let me go before I lose myself? I don't the shit stay the same? Why do we do this when no one deserves it? Are we insane? Why don't you let me go before I lose myself? I don't wanna be someone else. Know that we can't hold on. I'm begging you, let me go. And I know this hurts. Trying hard not to make things worse. All that we had is gone. Why don't you let me go? Why don't you let me go? How could I apologize? Don't want you to think I'm heartless, 'cause watching you leave is the hardest part. We're living our lives in the dark, 'cause I don't wanna feel this way. We need to move on. Why don't you let me go before I lose myself? I don't wanna be someone else. Know that we can't hold on. I'm begging you, let me go. And I know this hurts. Trying hard not to make things worse. All that we had is gone. Why don't you let me go, 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 go? I'm begging you, let me go, 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 go.
Damn.
Killer.
Very good.
Oh yeah, thank you.
That's a lot to unpack. Let's try to do it.
I saw some of the comments, by the way. Thank you so much, everybody.
Before
for the
we get
kind
into
words.
that, I just want to reply to Jonathan's comment of why I'm so serious. One, I haven't had enough apple juice. And two, my back is killing me.
And he hasn't punched
Nice.
a baby in a while.
Yeah. That's why, Jonathan.
It's generally frowned upon, Matt.
Things are different in the UK, man. It's a whole different culture. over
I
there.
guess so.
The so you mentioned Chris Dawson. Right. I want to get into that, and then I also want to get into the video, but let's start with Chris first. So walk us through recording with that guy. We've had him on the show. I follow him on all the socials, man. I see what he does. I've heard all his music. Outside looking in, nothing but great positive things to say. And I'm jealous that y'all have worked with the guy. I want to, you know what I mean? As a musician, I want to work with the guy. What is it like?
Dude,
I mean,
he's
it's
fucking awesome.
Pretty insane. Yeah. It's a business mindset when you go in there. We're there to work. You know, we've had the opportunity to work with not just him, but another really good producer as well. Some of that stuff soon, but I mean, me and we're there, and we go 90-0 from the time we get there to the time we leave.
You're sideways, my dear.
Me?
Yeah, everybody
Yeah.
We're-
We'll always
Yeah.
break my next for you,
Yeah.
dude.
there we go. Oh,
Now we go. Now
Oh,
we
now
go
he's
upside
upside
down.
Leave it upside down. No, that's cool. That's cool as shit. Just leave it like that.
What the fuck is
I
going
don't know why
on?
it's doing
We'll
that.
trip everybody out. We'll
So,
trip everybody out. But no, like I guess yeah, just leave it like that. It looks like some Jamiroquai shit. That's cool. What more specifically, what did he walk y'all that song? I mean, was it a full idea mapped out already? We ask a lot of bands this question, you know, was there writing that went on in the studio? Was it just an idea, like a riff? I mean, what was the process there?
it
with
was
the song?
start from scratch. We went in the room and said, "Hey, let's write a killer ass track." And
So you had almost nothing.
yeah, it was nothing. This was a blank canvas when we walked in the room.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, me and Carrie actually just
That's-
got back from there.
That's cool.
Yeah. Yeah, the the other producer, by the way, that he was talking about is in the chat, Jonathan Norris.
Oh, we've heard of
Yeah.
that guy.
Yeah, I don't
we've
know
heard of
if
him.
anybody's heard of him. He's in this little band called Keep
He's in a
Collapse.
band.
He sings as well.
He's in a,
Yeah,
wait, he's in a band?
He is.
Oh yeah, he didn't.
Apparently, he
I
does
thought he
writing,
was like a
producing and
gymnast.
vocals, and I don't know.
No. He's very acrobatic, but no, he also
The
sings.
next single, however, is also a Chris Dawson single that we actually just did a couple weeks ago, and we cannot wait for people to hear that one. If you liked "Let Me Go," we kicked it up another notch on this one.
Yeah, Let Me Go is definitely a vibe,
Hell yeah.
but the new one is it's insane.
When can we expect to be hearing that? And J-Rod, why haven't I had it yet?
In the
That's my two questions.
Such a shame he doesn't send you really cool messages.
Right. We're shooting for end of May, I think is what me and Carrie were talking about. We're trying to do some more stuff with this one, trying to, with Let Me Go growing like it has, we want to, always grow, make everything bigger every time we do it. And our team is just doing some incredible stuff that's helping us grow. Social media, streaming numbers, everything is growing. And that's what we're trying to do, is just get bigger with it and bigger with it. We want to be playing those rooms that you guys were talking about, even if they're 500 cap, 1,000 cap, we want to be playing those rooms and be able to be like, hey, they're here to hear these really cool songs that we got to write. And, they're here to see us. It's a really cool feeling. But the new song is it's insane. Like, you guys will definitely have it, I'm sure. We're actually going to shoot the video for this one with, am I allowed to say this?
Yeah.
Are we okay to say this? I don't know if we're allowed to or not. Mr. Juan Ibanez.
Oh, he's
who's done, work with a lot of bands, and we're excited to get to work with him. He seems super excited to work with us, so we're stoked. Our team is getting nothing but better every time we do stuff. I mean, we can't thank Pepper and Wake Up for what they do enough. Jason Castle for the stuff he does for us. Jonathan Norris for everything he's helped us. Chris Dawson, the videographers we worked with, the photographers we've worked with, you guys for supporting us, all the stations that support us. I mean, that's the difference. And you guys are the pillars of it. And then the fans are the biggest part of it. And it's crazy to see how much we've grown just I've been with you guys since what, Carrie, September?
Yeah.
Yeah, just the music that we've worked on. Every time we walk into a room, it goes from here to here.
Speaking of that, on Monday they're going to hear some of that. We when we went to build out the set list for these shows, I wanted to look forward and not as much back. So there's going to be some stuff from the old catalog, but most of the set list is unreleased music. Upcoming singles. The only one we're not playing just yet, we're probably gonna play it in Destin, but we're not playing it Monday, is the next single. We're kind of keeping that one a little close to the vest right now.
Yeah.
Well, can we talk a little bit about the video that we just watched? Because that was you talk about it, J-Rod. You've been only with them since September. Come out with a banger like that. And then I always like to point out when a band like hits it on their video, because we live in a video world, right? I mean, obviously that's a component of it. I was thoroughly impressed there. Who did it? What was the concept? How did the ideas come for that? Like, walk us through that just a bit.
You want that one?
It was Thomas Crane, and when that was J-Rod's first thing with us, so I'm like, dude, like, whatever you want to do with this, like, let's do it. So we talked about it, and then we talked about it with Thomas. We kind of came up with the plan, and we're pretty happy with how it turned out.
Yeah, the story it kind of told is kind of one that a lot of people can relate to. I mean, it's a song about breaking up and heartbreak and stuff that people go through, but there's so many aspects of life you can relate it to, It's definitely, it was, the video was a really cool experience for me because it's my first time being in like a studio type room. I had done videos outside and in different settings, but that was the first one in like a real movie type studio room to be able to just wow, you know, and Thomas brought it to life. I mean, it was
Mhm.
really cool.
Yeah, killer,
I love it.
killer.
That was a fun shoot too. We had a good time.
Yep.
We you know, we don't all get together as often as we would like with, you know, J Rod's up in Mobile, the rest of us are here in Tampa. So on these video shoots, you know, we get like an Airbnb and we all stay together, and you know, we always end up with memories from each of these trips. So
Oh yeah.
that's a bonus to us.
Yep.
This
That's
is
what-
another question we ask a lot of bands nowadays because I think your situation is more common. It almost seems like from us, Lisa, correct me if I'm wrong, Matt. I feel like more bands are multi-state bands than all in one state bands that we talk to, at least. What's the writing process like for you guys? Is it someone puts a guitar riff in Pro Tools or something and then emails it out? J-Rod, you get it at some point and do vocals alone over what you've got, or do y'all have writing sessions where y'all are able to get in a room together? How's that working?
So Carrie is actually a big part of the writing vocals with me. We do all the
Okay.
vocals together. As a matter of fact, Jonathan Norris and some of the stuff we work with him has been a part of the writing process. It's kind of a everybody's involved thing. We do a majority of the vocals, you know, but it's kind of an everybody plays their part, and we kind of go through a whole process together. I actually go down to Tampa almost every other weekend right now too, so I can rehearse with the guys and we can work on stuff. So we are in the room a lot together, more than we were initially. But a lot of it has been just like this, video chatting. You know,
Yeah.
a lot of it,
Yeah.
you know, you have Jamulus and all that kind of stuff you can use nowadays. But you know, we get on the video chat, and I mean, Carrie and me and Jonathan have been on a video chat for like 6 and 7 hours before.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Now, did I hear you
that's
right?
common. Where like I can't even tell you if Jonathan's still in the chat. I mean, bro, how many hours over the past year have we spent on FaceTime? It's like probably a crazy number.
Are you? Let's unpack a little bit of that if we got a little bit more time before we have to get to our next guest. But so, J-Rod, number one, you're going down to Tampa every other weekend from Mobile.
Yep. Yep.
Are you
I'm actually
driving?
flying. I'm actually leaving. I got to get up at 4:30 in the morning and fly in tomorrow morning. I usually drive, but I'm flying in the morning because we've got stuff we got to do over the next couple of days to get ready for Monday. So
What is the drive time from Mobile to Tampa?
depends on who's driving. I'll be honest with you.
All right, but give me
Traditionally, it's about 7 hours, maybe 6 hours and 45 minutes.
okay. So, and you still work a regular job?
Oh yeah, I manage three mechanic shops now.
Yeah, and you have a family.
Yep, a wife and 2
Okay.
boys.
There you go. So what I'm getting at, people, is if you're a musician, you're in a band, you want to start a band, you're looking to get into this shit. It's like, are you hearing what this dude's saying? He's every other weekend driving 7 hours down to Tampa to what? Write, rehearse, record, whatever.
Right, rehearse everything we can get done over those weekends. We do promos, content, everything.
What is that?
And it's
like
a grind, and that comes from him more than anything. I mean, you guys know me. You know how much I grind. He's just as much, if not double, what I do. And it's an all-the-time thing. But it's not just us. The other guys in the band are the same way. There's 4 of us, and it's every day. We talk every day. We discuss every day. We almost have a plan for every day what everybody's going to be doing.
Yeah.
That's the difference. I mean, if you look at anybody successful in any industry, they got there because of a drive, a work ethic, being willing to put the hours in that everybody else is asleep and you're up working. I mean, that's kind of what it takes. We have big goals. I mean, we don't hide that. We're not content. We're not satisfied. You know, we want to go to the Grammys. We want all that shit. So we understand to do that. It's sacrifice and commitment. And J-Rod, I mean, he puts it in.
Does that put you, J-Rod, at like Saturday to what, Sunday night? Like time down there? What is that?
Sometimes I'll leave work after Thursday and I'll drive from 5 p.m. and I'll get in about 1 o'clock his time because of the time change. So I'll be there Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Usually I come in on Friday night. We rehearse for 4 or 5 hours on Saturday. We rehearse for 4 or 5 hours on Sunday. And on Saturday after that, we do all the other stuff we have to do. And then on Sunday night, I drive home.
And then
And then
work
I'm back
Monday
at work
morning.
at 7 a.m.
God, people, please pay attention to that, bro. Hats off
What
to
you
you,
doing,
man.
man?
That's what I said. You were saying too about commitment, go to the Grammys, all this shit that y'all want. I was talking about a different situation on some different things, but here's like the takeaway, and this is the part that people don't understand. If you want to get to like a level at something, doesn't matter what you're doing, before you get to that like breakthrough moment where it's all fucking, you know, you're on every, you're just crushing it, you're on all the big shows, and everybody's like, oh, overnight success and all that shit. It got real uncomfortable at some point for everybody who's ever made it at that level, right?
Yeah.
Like there are so few people that just put out one song and it was just, you know, off to the races or whatever. That's like rare. That's like winning the lottery. It's
Yep.
not the norm, right? It's got to be
No.
super uncomfortable for a while before you get there. And I'm glad to hear you guys say that. That's impressive.
You've got to grind in this industry. Like I talked to Jay Watt and Kerry behind the scenes, like, you know, swap messages and whatever. But you've got to grind in this scene.
Mm-hmm.
You, especially like a lot of people will think like, you know, you're on Wake Up Music Rocks. Once you sign to a label, a lot of bands will just think, oh, it's our time to put our feet up. No, that's the time that you have to start working harder when you've got a team behind you as well, because then you've got to live up to expectations. And I see a lot of people in this industry and bands and stuff that once they get management, once they get companies behind them that are doing these things, they just want to sit there with their feet up. You can't
No,
do that.
it's see for me, the thing I always told everybody, you know, like I remember when we knew the contract was coming in, I said, I just want to be real clear with everybody. This means the work is not done. This means now you work harder than ever because somebody's willing to take a chance on you, or you're seeing some signs like would let me go doing so well. Like there's people saying, here's your chance, but it's up for you to walk through it. So the real work begins and it gets more and more and more the bigger things get.
Yeah. And it's like on my end with the sound and riff, like if you as a band are not doing your job, I can't do mine.
Yep.
Right.
You know, like world premieres on the sound. If I tell you, oh, I'm going to premiere you on the sound, if you're not sending me the assets I need, I can't do my job, can I? You know, and when you've got those people behind you, like Pepper, I love Pepper to pieces.
Yeah.
But then, you know, when you've got her kicking your ass, it gives you incentive then. But bands, you've got to grind in this industry to make it. Simple as that.
Absolutely.
Well, it's the
100%.
never being satisfied mindset. We're never satisfied. No matter what we're doing, we want more. You know, we're not trying to be better than the guys next door in their garage. We're trying to be the guys, like he said, holding the Grammy. I want to be in competition with Shinedown and 3 Days Grace. I want to be in competition with those guys.
That's right. That's huge. That's huge. Well, gentlemen, I love what I'm hearing. I love what I'm seeing. It sounds definitely, we, you know, every now and again we talk to some people, then we wonder if the mindset is correct. I definitely don't have that vibe with you guys. You know, it's definitely where it needs to be. So I'm sure now it's just a matter of executing, right? Because that's all there is left.
Yep.
What you're doing, I'm saying, but it's just continue, wash, rinse, repeat, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm already looking into next year, you know. We kind of have it all planned out. Things don't always go as planned, but it's bigger and bigger and bigger every time, and keeping that momentum going because the fans deserve it, you know.
Absolutely.
We have something to prove to ourselves. To me, it's not as much of a competition as maybe I'm proving something to myself, or you know, want to leave a legacy, you know, hope that my art helps somebody get through something, because I mean that's what Dark Remedy is about. We write about the human condition. I want to help people with that. So, you know, the more people that hear it, the more people you help. That's the way I look at it.
I want to flash this comment real quick before we wrap things up. Here we goes. Renee says content is key. Not everyone has Sirius XM and your music isn't being played on everyone's local rock radio, but everyone has social media, and that is correct. And we are playing them on the sound. So, you know, download the app. Our radio station's cranking that tune out right now. So, and a bunch of other bands that are in our, you know, what we call like our family of music, man. I mean, there's a lot out there that aren't getting the the love that they should, I feel like, across the nation. And that's what we're doing is try to increase that exposure.
Definitely. So
What's
where's
the-
the best place for new fans of Dark Remedy tonight to find you and talk to you?
Instagram, Facebook, darkremedyband.com. Just search Dark Remedy. We're everywhere. We have a Facebook group that we're very active in called the Dark Remedy Cult. Feel free to join that. It's a good time. But we're pretty easy to get a hold of. We love talking to fans. We love hearing what the song means to them. So, we're approachable. We don't bite.
Love it.
Awesome. Matt, let's flash that flyer one more time before they exit here. And just let's remind people where they need to be. That's next
Yes.
Monday.
Monday, Mobile, Alabama with Nothing More. And then the following show is with Dorothy at Club LA in Destin, May 15th.
And we should be announcing a tour here very soon too.
Sweet.
It's in the works.
So follow them
gentlemen,
on
thank
social and keep your eyes peeled, people.
That's
Thank
it.
you.
Thank you
Thank you so much for having us.
Yeah, for
Oh,
hopping in, man.
and thank you for this, by the way.
You're
This was
welcome.
awesome.
Yeah, that was
February
cool.
edition.
Absolutely. It's still available for sale online at the 728.com.
They
You
are
want that
indeed.
physical copy?
I'm
Go
plotting
get it.
for you guys.
That's right.
All
Thank
right,
you guys. We
appreciate
appreciate
your
you
time,
guys so much.
All right. You have a good
Speak to you
one.
again soon.
Thank you.
Later.
All right, so we have another guest that's going to be joining us who's been waiting backstage so patiently.
We do.
Thank you. They are a band called Silent Vice, and they are brand new to this podcast. They're a first-time guest. So we thought the best way to introduce is with a video.
Perfectly pixelated animation.
There we have it. Silent Vice.
Ooh, let's get them on. We got to start
Let's
talking.
bring
Let's
him
go.
in.
Let's
We've
bring
got Doug.
Doug in, shall we?
Yeah. Hi.
What's up, everyone?
Doug.
Nice
good.
and close to the camera there.
Thank you so much for being patient with us. And
That's all right.
first of all, I would like to apologize publicly for our screw up. When we made the initial post for this podcast, we had the wrong graphic. The man who is the guilty party is raising his hand
That's
for
okay.
the incorrect graphic.
Matt does a lot for us here. He does a shit ton for us, and he might
That's what
have made a
happens when
little
you
tiny
make
mistake.
graphics at like 3 o'clock in the morning my time.
Yeah. So
Well, in your
sorry. We
defense,
corrected
when we
it
started
though.
out
So
as a
I'm
band,
so
That's good.
sorry. Anyway, but go ahead, Jared. You're up.
No, yeah. So Doug, this is obviously our first time talking, but I'll give you a little backstory as to how we kind of came across your music. I don't remember if it was on the trip that I'm about to describe or if it was slightly before that, but somehow Spotify kicked, the algorithm, it kicked y'all over to me. I'm listening to a bunch of stuff, I'm liking stuff, and then one of y'all's songs come on and I hear it and I go, holy shit, this sounds familiar and new at the same time, which I love. Okay. I'm gonna get into who I heard, who I like the band that like really who I think you sounded like. Don't say it if somebody always says a band, don't say it. But I got you on my playlist. I go take a trip down to South Louisiana. Two of my buddies that are big into music. One of them's my guitar player. I'm playing y'all songs. They're digging it. Played a bunch of different bands, but I threw y'all's in there. Everybody's digging it. A day later, my guitar player who was in the truck listening to it, his son, who was also our guitar player now, that's how old I am, he texted me a link to your song. He's in the chat right now, Dylan. I thought his dad told him what we listened to, and then he was sending it back to me. So we had this awkward conversation where nobody realizes that didn't happen. He just stumbled upon y'all as well, and it took us like a bunch of back and forth to figure that out. So anyway, the algorithm's doing something. Your music's getting out there, and I love it. It's like I said, it's familiar and new at the same time. The band that I hear that I just heard when that was playing. Do you have a band in your head right now? Because you're shaking your head like maybe you do.
There's one
Okay,
that we always say. Yeah.
Okay, is it Drowning Pool?
No, actually, it's not. But that's
Okay.
the most recent one we've been hearing a lot. The one I say we hear the most is the Deftones.
Oh,
A little bit.
With
but
the guitar. Okay, with the guitar and the drums, definitely.
Yeah.
I hear Deftones.
Your singer's voice sounds like the first Drowning Pool singer in a good way, not a ripoff. When he hits those those little screams that he does, like he's getting after it, I hear the same from the first Drowning Pool record, and I love it. It's awesome. That's why I like familiar and new at the same time. So that's my spiel. And I think I sent y'all a message on some platform. I'm like, God, we got to get these guys going. And Matt took over, and that's where I'm at.
Yeah. So I think you initially reached out to them. I think you sent them to me and was like, dude, what do you think of this band? And I was like, yeah, they're good, man. So Doug, for those that don't know, I don't know much about Silent Vice. I haven't done a deep dive because I knew you were coming on.
Right.
So tell us everything about Silent Vice, how you started, what's the process? What's Silent Vice about?
And not only that, but your part in the band.
Right.
Let's talk about that as well.
So first off, thanks for having me. I didn't get to say
You're
that.
welcome.
Stoked to be here. I like what you guys are doing. I also wanted to say, talking a lot about Kingdom Collapse, we played a show with them in San Diego a few years back, believe it or not.
Stop it.
So the world is small. Yeah. So our band history is we've actually been a band for a really long time. So all of us are in our early 30s, but we started playing before we had driver's licenses. So
Nice.
We were 14, 15 years old. So except our bass player, he's newer. And he's a little bit older than us. We call him Gramps, but he's
Be nice.
He's
Be
newer,
nice,
but the three.
I know. I'm afraid of what he's gonna start calling me.
Go ahead.
Well, I guess in our minds we like to still think we're pretty young. I guess we are, but anyways, it doesn't matter.
I told you my guitar player's son is in our band now, so just understand that.
Yeah. So we've been a band for 15 or 16 years. We're based in San Diego, and
up till the last few years ago, I mean, we just been doing our thing, making music. You know, we've been influenced by that era of music, right? The Drowning Pool, the early 2000s, late 90s, that stuff. And, you know, so that's what we were always writing. It wasn't until a few years ago where we sort of figured out how to make this TikTok and Instagram thing work. And it's crazy to me because all we did was post videos of us playing the song with some dumb caption. It's like, hey, check out our song. And people did. So, but, you know, yeah, that's pretty much it. You know, the three of us have been in the band for a really long time. Bass players new. And, you know, we've just been trying to write music and just doing our thing here in San Diego. So now we're trying to build out regionally. We got some, you know, like you mentioned, Jared, you know, it's getting out there. The music is. So now we're thinking, okay, maybe we should go play around a little bit. So we're starting to expand regionally and play some shows. We're trying to play in Arizona and LA and all that. So, but that's pretty much it, man. I mean, it's just, we're just a bunch of normal dudes just playing our music and having a good time. And yeah, it's going good.
That's great. I mean, what a wild world that we live in now, where you're like, okay, we figured out this TikTok thing. Like the music probably didn't change a whole lot, right? But you just figured out the attention aspect of how to get it. And then now, like, you're talking to some people that, you know, Matt's in the UK, Lisa's on the East Coast, I'm over here on the Gulf Coast, and it's like, here we are. It's the world we live in.
No, it's crazy. And you know, it's also been a really wild ride too, because everything we do, we're completely independent, self-produced, self-mixed. The only thing we don't do is master our songs. That's because you need a room of gear to do it. But we do everything ourselves and always have. So over the course of 15 years, it's like, you're right, the music hasn't changed dramatically, but I think it's been refined. It's definitely gotten better. But then you tack on like the recording techniques and skills and, you know, just in general, like all the gear and everything. And over 15 years now, we're kind of at a point where we can just do everything ourselves.
Yeah. So who's the producer guy? Who's the tech? Who's the Pro Tools or what, you know, DAW guy?
It's the drummer, Alex.
Oh, okay. All right. The drummer.
Yeah,
okay.
Going against the grain with the drummer with the brains there. But
well, right. If you said bass player, I wouldn't have believed you, but no, drummer, I can. I was gonna bet you. It's usually the guitar player.
No, it's not me. No. No, my role, I do a lot of the songwriting. I mean, we all could participate with the songwriting for sure, but as the guitar player, it's riffs a lot of the time, right? So, yeah, like it's come up with a riff. Alex will throw some drums down, get some bass in there, and Kevin adds his vocals on later. But no, yeah, Alex is the techie one. He's the one who's figured it out, did a Pro Tools class. He did like an internship with, God, I wish I knew his name. I could shout him out. But, you know, it's just been learning it. So now it's kind of cool because we've got all these, I don't know, we've kind of, all the pieces have come together at this point where we can kind of do everything ourselves. And we're like, wow, this is good.
It's what you need to do as a band. If it's, we had someone back on the podcast back along who said, like, if you don't know how to do it, you either got to learn to do it or pay someone to do it.
That's right.
Absolutely.
You know?
Well, not a lot of bands can self-produce. I find more often than not, it sort of ends in disaster. So why do you think that your band is doing it successfully?
Well, I definitely think you're right. There's like some element of groupthink that happens when you get, you know, you're just always self-producing. But on the other hand, what's interesting for us is, you know, we've like, I guess I could just say, I mean, we're always just trying to rip off our favorite bands, right? So we see ideas that other bands are doing, and we were like, oh, that's pretty cool. We could implement something like that. So by no means are we great producers or anything, but I mean, when you look at our songs, it's just not four to the floor, but you know, it's very bare bones, right? It's guitar, bass, drums, vocals, and can I ask you, are y'all, as the self-produced guys, are y'all? When I hear your music, like I said, like it's familiar and new at the same time, but it also sounds like a real band to me. And I think that is something that's changing in music that's coming out. It's so polished and so produced and so like perfect
that there are just times that I listen to a song, I'm like, man, I really like this song. It's fucking awesome. But something, right?
It's
With
overproduced.
exactly. That's
Right.
exactly what it is. And it's very hard to say that, but sometimes that's the feeling.
Yeah.
And with your guy, when I hear your shit, it sounds like you were joking earlier, you know, you're in your early 30s. I might be in my 40s, who knows? But like, I remember when music sounded like a band, even though it was polished and produced and Pro Tools was the thing. I get it, but it still sounded like music. I hear that in y'all's stuff. So like, are y'all still micing drums like a bunch of grandpas? Or are you doing?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I can
Yeah,
hear it.
so-
Like we can.
Yeah, exactly. And you know what's funny is we're actually starting to notice that that's actually playing into what's, I think, helping us get noticed a little bit. And like when you look through all the comments on our stuff, it's always like, finally a real band that sounds like from the early 2000s, you know. And I'm not bagging on that stuff that's overproduced and hyped right now. Like I'm wearing a Spirit Box hat. Like I love Spirit Box. They're like that, right? You know, super polished and all that. I'm all about it. I love Thornhill. I don't know if you guys are listening to them. Their new album's like these bands are killing it, and I love that. But the reality is, in order to do that, you have to have the whole in-ear rig with the computer that works. I mean, I could barely get on this podcast, you know, without my computer.
Right.
You know, he was messaging saying he was having tech issues.
Yeah.
Dude.
So how am I supposed to run a whole live show? You know,
Right.
like, there's no way that's happening for us. So,
It's like-
but
You just nailed it though, man. Like, okay, again, the guy over here, like in his 40s, who's like, we play like 3 shows a year. We have that same exact discussion. It's like everybody's on these in-ear rigs now. No one's got amps on the stage anymore. We totally understand the upside of it. I get it, but we're like, it's like we just want to plug in and like play. But
Yeah.
so I love it. I love to hear you say that.
Like for me, when I just heard him say then, like, you know, it's guitars, drums, bass, vocals, right? I've heard some like I get a lot of songs in my email for ads on the station, and I'm not gonna lie, there's some horrible stuff in there, right? And it's because the bands themselves are self-producing for one, and they're trying too hard to be like Falling in Reverse and Spirit Box and stuff like that, and it just sounds like it's recorded in a garage. And it's utter chaos because they're trying to fit too many elements from different genres like the metalcore and stuff like that into it. And it just doesn't work. It's better to be simple.
And also because too many people are trying to shine at the same time.
Right.
That's also the problem. The one thing I think, it reminds me your sound a little bit of Seven Dust. Seven Dust has that really raw grit to their music, which is why I love them so much. You know, when you go and see a Seven Dust show, you are getting exactly what you hear on the radio or on your streaming platform. And I think it's so important because it connects you to the audience more, connects you to that listener, that fan, all the more intimately, because they're not having to hear overproduced tracks. Not saying that's a bad thing. I enjoy it too. But
because
right.
No, go ahead. I'm sorry, but you're right.
No. That was just my point. It just it reminds me of like those gritty bands like Seven Dust or like even Non-Point, right? Where you get that like real old school vibe from them. It's something familiar and solid that you can really stick your heels into.
And it makes your life easier. When you go and perform live, there's less things to go wrong. Like there's a band I love. I'm not going to say the band, but I went to see them at my local venue. They slayed it anyway, but I found out afterward that they left their laptop at the last venue, so they had to re-record and retrack everything that was tracked prior before the show within a couple of hours.
Wow.
Like that's carnage, right?
Yeah.
So when you're keeping it to the you know, the raw sound of, you know, the mic drums, and it also reflects on live performance as well because it sounds the same.
There's a band, Doug, going back to what you said about kind of figuring out the hack of I forgot what platform. Did you say it was TikTok or whichever one it was? But the band that I'm thinking of, and unfortunately, because you know I suck, and this is kind of how overconsumption of content is these days. I can't remember the band's name, but because on TikTok I've watched enough of their shit, they keep feeding them to me. And this band kind of like what you were saying. Their whole shtick is it'll be a quick cut of them playing like in a little tiny room, but then it's the caption that's on the video that's written says something about the nostalgia of the early 2000s, and it'll go from them playing to like Tony Hawk Pro Skater to like Bam Margera. I don't know if you've seen this, and if anybody in the chat has seen it, please tell me who the band is. I forget. The song is great. It does sound a lot like Deftones to me, that song, and I'm a huge Deftones fan, so I'm a sucker right out of the gate for that. But when they mixed it with that visual element and kind of owned the fact that their music sounds like something that's older, and when I say Drowning Pool for you guys, I don't think that you sound like older like that as much as this particular band does. I like both, but what I'm saying is like they just embraced it. They made the visuals part of it, and it's fucking working because I know that it's not showing me that over and over again for no reason, and they have a following too. It's crazy.
So I want to touch on the back of that and ask Doug a question with social media. You said you figured out TikTok and whatnot. How has using social media impacted the band?
I mean, it's the number one reason why we're on this podcast and like getting some streams and a little bit of attention. I mean, you know, it's something where we knew we kind of like don't hate the players, hate the game, or whatever that saying is. We just had to dive into it. So
right,
we found that TikTok was really good at going, you know, from TikTok to Spotify. That bridge was really close. And actually, most younger people are discovering music through TikTok to begin with. So
100%.
So we were thinking, well, we got to get in on this because Instagram wasn't really working. It only recently did it sort of go in like February, right? But so we just, I mean, and this was Alex again, believe it or not. He's the mastermind behind it all. He was just like, screw it, I'm just going to start posting every day, every other day, and just see what works, right? So, you know, then at band practice, we'd spend 20 minutes at the beginning or the end, take a couple of videos, whatever. It doesn't have to be anything special. And we just started posting, post. But eventually you get one of the videos with the right caption, whatever, you know, and it'll kind of throw it out. So we had a couple TikToks go to like 1 million views, or maybe not that much to begin with, but you know, but going back to that bridge, right? The TikTok to Spotify listener bridge is so strong that if you, once you get those videos in front of people, you just lock in listeners. And most of the time when people like your song on Spotify or on Apple Music, they don't just listen to it and be like, oh, that's cool, and then move on. They'll add it to their playlist.
Yeah.
So, you know, so when you ask like how instant like social media has changed the game, I mean, it's the whole thing for us. I mean, we're not out making fans playing live or anything, right? It's like literally
the reason why I ask it is because me and Lisa own a social media marketing artist development company, right? And it is social media now is where you start building your fan base. It's as simple as that.
Well, 78,000 people are following Silent Vice.
There you go.
So
where at
TikTok? I just put it in the chat. I just put it in the comments right there, right on TikTok. I just looked them up. 78,000 people. So
it's the new Carrie Kasem. It's the new
Casey Kasem.
I'm sorry, Casey Kasem. Thank you,
Yes.
Lisa. I appreciate that.
I'm older than you, so you're welcome.
I know, and I can't believe I flubbed that because I used to listen to him all the time. But
Every
like,
weekend.
it's the new. Like I'll jump forward a few decades. It's the new TRL, right? It's the new.
Oh, right.
What I mean, American Bandstand, like what Soul Train, like all those old shows that was the debut of the song was there.
Yeah.
That's what TikTok is now.
Yeah, it is. I actually had a nice conversation. Pepper Gomez, who owns Wake Up Music Rocks and Wake Up Music, had me speak to her Grammy. She votes for the Grammy Awards, and she has a person she's mentoring, this girl who's in college for the music industry. And so she had me talk to her about social media and its impact on your career. And it's like, literally, here's your song. Here's your social media.
Right.
They are equal.
And then
it's
you like
literally the same thing.
To come in. Those are the 3 things that you need now to fucking break in.
Right. And so you guys are doing such a good job of that that takes so much hard work. You have so much to be proud of. I mean, looking at your stuff, I mean, you got almost 500,000 views
Yep.
on one video alone.
And I think it's just like Doug, like you were saying, because you said like you would do in bands, artists, please pay attention. He said 20 minutes before practice or 20 minutes after, and I think you said a daily post strategy, right? But you also said a video with the particular caption, and that's another thing too. That the writing on overlay of the video is just as important, and got to be as creative to get that to hit too, right? Like that can do it. But my question to you is, was it that cerebral of a decision? Like you were like, y'all were together, like, we are going to do this and we're going to try to make TikTok work for us. Was it like that?
Yeah. I mean, it was, but it wasn't like we want to be on TikTok. It was like, we want people to hear our music. We want people to
Right.
So it's a tool.
Yeah.
Yes. Try anything, man. So, we were just trying everything, and it started working, and we were like, well, let's keep going, and it's worked really well. So, but not much. I mean, really, it's just, we have this tiny little studio room. If you go watch our videos, it's in almost every single video. It's like the size of a broom closet, and it's just like the four of us in there. It smells terrible,
but that's so cool though, right? Like, okay, you mentioned Deftones. I guess y'all get that a little bit, and I hear it, but like one of my favorite Deftones videos is Bored, and they're in a tiny ass little house playing. I fucking love that video, right? Like, and if you can just do that on TikTok over and over again, do it.
This is all about growth. Like, just think of the stories that you and the boys will have in years to come when you upgrade the studio. And do you remember when we were in that fucking smelly little broom cupboard?
Yeah.
Well, now we're laughing that we can't ever leave it because it's got the magic, so
that's it. It's got the juju. The juju's in it. Yeah. So I got a couple more questions before we wrap it up. Number one, I can't go this whole interview without asking you about those beautiful ladies hanging on the wall behind you. What do we got going on there, man?
So actually, I wish you could see the other one. See if I turn a little bit. So these are the two.
Oh wait, hold on. Start over, Doug. We lost your audio somehow. We lost your audio. Is your finger over the?
Maybe. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was.
Okay. So the red and the yellow guitars are the ones I actually play in the band. So they're Stephen Carpenter from the Deftones. They're his signature models from LTD.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and they're, the 8-string thing. So like, that's why I say we sound like the Deftones, is because that era of the Deftones, like the Diamond Eyes, Koinonia Khan, that defined what we wanted to sound like. But then, we have all these influences like Tool. I mean, we all grew up on Tool. And then Keelan, our singer, he's like Linkin Park, Chester Bennington all the way. That's like his guy, right? So, but yeah, so that's what I play. Just I just see, that's what I was talking about, ripping off the bands. I'm like, well, I like that band. I'm just gonna play his guitar, and it sounds good.
Well, yeah. But do you find that because I saw that you guys put out several singles last year, you haven't put out anything this year. Are you finding as you're building your singles and you're building that catalog that perhaps you're refining and finding your own individual sound as opposed to taking a lot of influence from the bands that you love?
Yeah. It's actually, to be honest, it's kind of all aspects of the band are becoming that. And the most interesting one, I think, is the recording side. We're finding that, like, because we self-produce and mix, not only is our like song writing and that kind of becoming its own lane, but the sound, when you put the record on, you hear it, and it does. I mean, we're not like professional, recording engineers and, mixing engineers. So it's kind of sounds like us. And as far as the songwriting goes, I mean, we always just write what we want to write. Obviously we want people to like it, but we got to like it first.
Right.
And so, I mean, then again, on the other hand, like we have one. So talking about singles, we have an EP coming out this summer, right?
Oh.
And so we'll have 4 singles and an EP coming out. And the main song that we think is going to be like the best one, we're like, this is the coolest song we've ever written. So we played it live, for just to like test it. And nobody even moved. Like, I don't know. Like, it wasn't even, like, didn't even register.
Well, I mean,
Oh,
that's part of
shit.
it. That's the detriment of working in a vacuum.
Yeah,
maybe, I don't know.
but
So-
hey, but also too, and I don't know who you played it in front of and where that was at, but a new song that people don't know the changes to, there
Good
is
point.
a little bit
Right.
of that, and it could also be so good that they were kind of just taking it in, so
Yeah.
understand that.
Who knows?
Who knows?
I still think it's a good song.
Or it
gonna be
sucks.
fun.
Hey, or it's
But-
terrible. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. But
We
it's,
don't
like, it's okay. Like, we know that it's gonna be okay. And some songs do better than others. And like another example is, we put out this 3-song EP last year called Echo Stasis. And when we put it out, I thought the first and second song, notably the second one, was gonna be like the best one. I'm like, this is the coolest song we've ever written. Out of the 3, it did miles worse.
Yes.
I listened to it on my way home from work today. I put it on
Yeah.
my way home
Lisa
from work.
did-
I was driving. I wanted to take it in. Then I put the album on,
Yeah.
taking it all
Lisa
in.
does her homework, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you
Yeah,
understand that. She
Yeah.
does her homework.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
No, but
the
dude, you're
third
right.
song-
That's how it goes. Like, that's how it goes. You could and probably, I don't know, like the band dynamics, but y'all could all pick the song. I can see this happening. We've done it. And it's like, that's the one. We know it. We know that's the one. And it's like, no, that is not the one. Everybody likes this one for some reason. You're like,
Exactly.
that one? Really? Why that one? I don't understand it.
Let me just tell you a perfect example of why this doesn't work, right? Any Given Sin, a band I adore, they're local to me. They put out a song a few years ago called Insidious, and they put it out because they wanted to stay relevant. I don't know if Renee's still watching or not. Their tour manager, she's probably going to drive over here
Watching.
and punch me in the throat. But they put it out because they needed to put something out. They didn't actually think it was going to do well.
Smashed
It did amazing.
Yeah.
You never know when you're in that vacuum. You never know what other ears are going to hear and how the fans are going to respond. So when
Yeah.
you think it's like the best song ever and the fans are like, oh, okay. But then you have like this song that you're like, oh, let's just put it out there. This will be fine.
Yeah.
We don't really care about it. And then the fans go wild. That's when you know maybe it's time to bring in somebody else to listen to our tracks.
That's one downside I would say to
Self-production.
because you, the drummer, vocalist, everyone don't get too emotionally attached to the track.
Well,
true.
you're definitely right about that. But if there's 4 people in a band or however many people's in the band, there's 4 opinions for sure, right? But you're right. Like picking the one that the fans are gonna like or that you think that the fans are gonna like, that's always tricky. But you still do have 4 different, opinions there. So
yeah, well, we have our methods. We put the mix out to like Alex as a mixing group, so they critique his mix, not the song,
Killer.
mix. But
Killer.
also the favorite one worth mentioning is we call it the girlfriend test, or I guess for a few of us it's the wife test. Because they're just objective listeners, right? And most of the time they're like, nah. And then we're like, oh, okay. But we hit them with that early on in the demo stage. So we never make it all the way down the road. If it's all the way down the road and they hate it, then we're like, whatever, you're wrong. It's great.
You're wrong. You don't,
Right,
you don't know shit about music. You like Taylor Swift. I'm not listening to you.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm not bagging on Taylor Swift, though.
Now, neither am I. I'm just jealous.
Well, they have a
So-
show coming up.
Yeah. So that's what I was gonna say. Tell us about the live stuff, right? Because the TikTok thing is working, and now obviously you've made the internet's made your way over here on our side of the world. So
That's right.
what's the touring looking like?
So, we've been playing live forever, right?
Right.
But mostly in San Diego, and I think like years where we played the most shows, it was like 10 or 12 shows. But so it's not like been crazy. So now we're trying to branch out, and we're trying to play San Diego like quarterly. And so we'll be playing up in Orange County coming up here pretty soon. April 26th, we'll be in Orange County, which is like halfway to LA. So we will be there. And then sometime in July, it's not fully locked in yet, we'll be out in Tucson, Arizona. So, if anybody has connections on the
Are these headline shows or support shows? What are they?
Yeah, they're just headline shows. So the one in Orange County, actually, I don't know. We're kind of like co-headlining. I found a band that they were trying to do the same thing in San Diego. Right, we're starting off small. We'll play with anybody at this point. We're just saying,
That's
hey,
how
we
it
want to get
starts.
out there and
Oh,
we
sure.
want to meet people and play music, and it doesn't matter, right? And every band we play with is good. It's always really fun. So you know, we're just trying to get out there. So those are headline shows, and then it's headline in Tucson. So I don't know. We're just trying to say yes to as many opportunities as we can. Like, all of us have day jobs and lives, and so you know,
So do we.
Well,
yeah.
So do we.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
you know, we're just trying
look,
to do what we can.
we are a great conversation tonight. Very
Yeah.
much fun talking to you. Super huge fan of the music. I'm so glad that the algorithm gods kicked you over here towards us. I don't know how much you know about us, but you know, we have an app. We have the radio station that's inside of the app. Matt is the guy doing that. He's the program director. So please, for the love of God, keep us in the loop on everything that y'all put out. Shoot us an email. We will definitely get it on to the station. We would love to have you back. Anytime you want to premiere anything that you do, the song, the video, we're gluttons for that type of
Love it.
attention. So you're part of the family now. So keep us in the loop. We'll share out your stuff, and we do
With the right
live shows.
picture.
Yeah, with the right picture, we promise this time.
Yeah. I'll send you my email address when we're done.
Yeah, and we do concert promotions over here on our side of the states. I know that's probably, you know, not easy to get over here as far as, you know, the economics behind everything. But if you ever are trying to map out a tour this way, you know, you start getting into the Texas, Louisiana area, give us a shout and see if we can't make something work.
Yeah.
Definitely. Believe it or not, Texas has like 5 times the listenership that San Diego does for us.
It's a big state, dude. Big state.
Well, that's a good point. But like city by city, you know, it's crazy. Like, I know it's just unfortunate we're farther away. I'm like, man, if we lived there, we'd be touring regionally way more, you know, because we have like a majority of our listeners. It seems like they're there, you know.
All the bands that we're digging, the vast majority of them are coming out of Texas. A lot of out of San Antonio.
Also Pennsylvania. I'm sorry, but the Baltimore, Pennsylvania thing has got some stuff going on.
Yes. And I love it. I love it.
About great scenes, like I've got you.
Never mind the UK. That's crazy.
It doesn't matter.
And hey, Matt can start slinging y'all stuff over there. Like, he's juiced in on that scene. So
yeah, we can talk. There's some things I'm doing over here for up and coming bands. I can't say too much, but I'm just about to bring 2 American up and coming bands over in October. So
okay.
And he said it, Lisa. There he went. And he said it.
I can't say anything, but I'm gonna say it anyway.
But I'm gonna say it anyway. Well, Doug, look, we got y'all's links in the comments here to the TikTok,
Thanks, Ann.
Facebook as well. Everybody listening to this, no matter where you're consuming it at, go check them out. It's so easy to give them a follow, and it's even easier to give them a download or buy some merch. Y'all got merch for sale?
Got merch for sale.
There you go.
Yep.
Every
Just
single
all the links
follow.
in the bios, and even if you're on Spotify, it'll pop up. So we're working on new stuff too, new merch.
So when will we get a new release from you?
I think you said summer. Did you say summer for the
Summer?
EP?
Yeah,
Summer.
yeah. We just finished mixing the first single. I don't know if it'll be the first single, but the first song of the 4. So it's done minus a couple vocal things, and we just need to mix it out.
Just so you know, we do video premieres. We do all day premieres on the station. We are a reporting station. So, you know, just keep us in the loop, bro.
Yeah.
Don't worry, dude. He's just got my email. So there you go.
Well, look, hey, thanks for jumping on with us tonight and being patient back there. I know we went a little long, but dude, we love the tunes. Everybody that I'm talking to is digging it. So keep doing what you're doing, and we'll see you in a couple months. Hopefully, drop us some stuff.
Yeah, we'll keep you guys in the loop. Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome.
All right.
Thank you, Doug.
Good night, man. Good night.
See ya.
He was lovely.
That was sweet. Yeah, that was great. That was a great interview. That's killer.
He was so
San
nice.
Diego.
I love that.
Yeah. I dig the music too, man. I really do.
Yeah. It's you don't really hear much of that now, do you? Like that old early 2000s nostalgia in
Well,
new
Actually, no, Matt. I think again, going back to the social media algorithms, I think it's becoming a little bit of a thing. I don't know. I feel like there's something's happening there. And then I also hear like the new metal air quotes bands are saying that there's a resurgence there, that they're seeing people showing up to the shows more and shit like that. So I don't know.
I don't know. Not sure.
Not
Not sure either.
So
No, not sure.
we've got a couple things to touch on
We do.
Let's do it.
before we do wrap up the show.
Wait.
The first one being, if you haven't got your tickets yet, people, why not?
It's been a long 5 years since they've taken the stage, 13 years since they played the Mississippi Gulf Coast, and it's time for the return of the Gulf Coast very own 12 Stones. The Sound 228 and Budweiser present 12 Stones live at the D'Iberville Community Center Saturday, July 19th. This is an all-ages show, the return of 12 Stones. 12 Stones with special guest Counterfeit, the tribute to Limp Bizkit, Envision, Them Guys, Transient, and the big reveal. 12 Stones is back. 12 Stones, Counterfeit, Envision, Them Guys, Transient, and the big reveal. Saturday, July 19th at the D'Iberville Community Center. This is an all-ages event. Show tickets are just $25 in advance. Get tickets at thesound228.com.
Thank you for remembering that, Matt, because I would not have.
Dude, I got it. And the button pusher.
Yeah. Hey, let's talk about that just for a split second before we announce the winner of the grudge match. But that show is going to be legit. I saw the pictures from 12 Stones over at gosh damn it. I can't think of the name of the venue. It'll hit Southport Music Hall. The photos looked great. They looked like they had a great turnout. I know they do good live. I've seen them enough times. I'm not even worried about that. Counterfeit, a tribute to Limp Bizkit. If you've never seen them before and you're wanting to see some good, like all the Limp Bizkit hits, the old school stuff, they're going to crush it. Envision has never played one single show that I've ever been to live that they didn't give it their all and throw a kick-ass fucking show. That's going to be the shit. Them Guys, same thing. Just saw them at the Sanctuary the other night. They're giving it their all. Like great performance, great like stage productions, the whole nine. It's going to be amazing. The other band that we added, who was it again? The big reveal. Haven't seen them yet. Saw some videos. They're young from what I understand.
They look very young.
They are very young, but they are very, from what the video I saw, they look very seasoned, meaning they don't look new to the stage, and they were really, really good. So we're excited about that. We're going to pull out all this, leave no stone unturned. We got lights coming. We're going to turn it into a rock venue. Like, it's going to be cool. If you don't have your tickets yet, and people are starting to purchase them. It shows in July. We're in April right now. Like, people are already starting to buy tickets, and we're glad to see that. Go get them now. The price is going to go up the closer it gets to the show. Go grab them. It's going to be a fun time. Come hang out and let's talk music and watch some killer.
Not only that, but the show's going to sell out. I mean, 12 Stones is coming to that venue. I mean, like, they haven't been there in forever.
No, they haven't played our market in a very, very long time as a full band. We did an acoustic set not too long ago, and I heard that was great. It's a community center, because we've had some people message us, like, community centers, like, look, it's a 400 capacity venue. We're taking over. We're bringing in the sound. Wow. We're bringing in light production. It's going to be killer.
400 cap.
That's what they're telling us.
Yeah. See, this is like the show of my dreams, right? I want to see those kinds of names in those small cap venues. You give me that, I am there in a heartbeat. That's the best kind of show to ever attend.
It's going to be a vibe.
That's it. So, Matt, Lisa, I'm not sure which one of y'all was tallying. Where are we at?
Lisa.
So, the Nocturnal Affair, congratulations for winning.
Wow.
There we go.
Wow. Okay. Very impressive. Like we always say, we pick these bands because we like what they're doing. We like the songs. And we want to feature them on the show. We don't vote on purpose, thankfully.
don't.
And we love all the music that we play. So congratulations to them. They will go on to the next episode where Kevin will more than likely try to schedule them up against somebody that pisses our entire audience off,
Right.
including us a lot of times.
Yes.
And that's what makes it fun.
Right. And I'm going to do I don't have the graphic because I didn't think about loading it in, but I'm going to do a plug anyway. Tomorrow on the app. Well, actually, literally from midnight tonight on the app. New Etched in Embers is going to be playing on the sound, baby.
Yeah, it's a song.
Banger.
Decades, literally.
This,
I think it's 2 decades in the making, is it not?
I don't mind it. I don't think Ross would mind me saying this. This is the track that the band was put together for.
Yep.
I think they made that post on social media, did they not, Matt? That exact quote.
Yeah. This is the track that the band was put together for.
Yeah. So go download the app. It's free. App Store, Google Play, doesn't matter. Download it. The radio station's inside of there. All of our interviews are in there. All of our YouTube videos are in there. Links to our concert tickets, links to everything. You know, cut the algorithms out and go straight to the source.
And
stay up to date.
Had a new vamp. It's been revamped.
Yep.
It's looking really sexy right now.
It is. It is. I want to thank everybody in the comments tonight that was chiming in. We appreciate that. It really makes the show like that much more fun. I want to thank the two of you for being on here with us tonight. We love it. Y'all are great. The show is so much better now that, you know, we have the Riff Media Matt and Lisa duo. We're missing one of our homies, Kevin, but I know he's probably doing blow off of Nikki.
Tommy with his ass by now.
Right. It wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, Pixar didn't happen.
Yeah,
Anyway.
I know he's having a good time and he's not thinking about us right now either. So what's the next show? Somebody that's more
I could tell you. I know. I will say that we are in the process of rescheduling the Left on Red Miles Claiborne interview. I'm just waiting for an answer from Miles. And we do have some good shows coming up. I couldn't tell you what the next one is.
I am going very quickly through our chat, trying desperately to find it. It is not loading.
I wasn't trying to put you on the spot. Y'all just always know shit.
No, I know we've got Matt from Blacktop Mojo coming on at some point.
We do have Blacktop Mojo. I believe we have Conquer Divide scheduling a date.
Yeah,
we
Dark
have
Below coming on.
Right. We have a bunch of great
We've also
bands
got Left
that are
on Red with Miles.
Yes, that's being rescheduled.
Okay, all I have is the date. I don't have the band. So it looks like the next date is May 7th, unless I'm butchering that. Is that right?
Yeah, I think that's the date that I put to Miles. So that may be
okay. Wait, I'm getting through the chat.
Anyway, just stay tuned. And you can see what we're doing. Download the app. We'll send you some notifications. Turn the notification tab on. We don't spam.
Oh, there is something we could talk about while we're talking about Left on Red.
Yep.
Yeah, they're going out with they're on the cover of the magazine.
There you go.
So if you haven't, head over to our website, thesound228.com, go to our magazine, and you can read it anytime or grab a physical copy for $15. And Left on Red is about to go on tour again. So go ahead and bring that mag out and have them sign it.
Right.
There you go. And take a picture and tag us because we want to see that.
I'm not going to say who it is because I'm not allowed. But I am so stoked for next month's mag cover. That's all I'm going to say.
There you go.
With
Y'all
that,
stay tuned.
We love you. Thanks for being here.